What are your
There's
thoughts?
definitely not enough support
Okay.
for women in business. There's not enough funding for women in business.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Lifestyle Thursday. We are here with Nanzia, founder of Roros, continuing the conversation from last week, and today we are focusing on women in business. So let's hear her take and let's get started. So from our previous conversations, you've mentioned that you are a foreigner, an East African, Kenyan, Ugandan and Tanzania, but also a woman as well. So what would you say how has it been starting a business in Kenya as a woman, in East Africa as a woman? Have you faced any challenges just because primarily you're a woman, or what has that experience been for you?
Yes, definitely. I think that's an automatic challenge.
Okay.
The moment you're a woman going into business, it's unfortunate, but it's a challenge that's I think very common. And that is people just not taking you seriously, or people thinking that there's somebody else behind you backing the business, like your husband or a male figure.
Yeah. The patriarchy is strong.
Exactly. It's so strong. It's so strong. So that's a challenge throughout. When trying to find suppliers, when looking for shop space, retail locations, when talking about partnerships, just across boards, there's that initial level of doubt, I think, that comes with the fact that you are the woman running a business, and then obviously the assumptions that come with that.
And how have you navigated that? And if you don't mind giving us an example of a situation like that, or just letting us know how have you navigated those situations?
Wow, I think giving an example would be difficult only because there's so many. And it gets to the point where you're kind of acclimatized and you're used to it. So sometimes I don't even really I'm expecting it. I'm expecting, okay, fine, this is going to be a surprise, or it's going to be a shock, or it's going to be a bit harder. So I think navigating it, unfortunately, is you have to then go the extra mile to prove yourself. It's not enough that I've come in and asked for. I'll give an example of this is just off the bat, not necessarily something that happened, but if I'm walking into a retail space, perhaps, and I'm looking for space, and maybe I'm like, I want to take the whole floor. There's always an initial like, okay, what is it that you do again? Where are you from? How long have you been in business? There's so many questions that follow up. And then because of that, you then have to prove yourself. Exactly. You have to say, oh, I've been doing this for 25 years. I'm successful. I have, you have to show the proof of your success. You have to show, that you have experience and that your experience has paid off. So you have to go the extra mile. But hopefully that changes soon.
Because I don't think it's fair, and you get numb to it as you're saying, but it's irritating.
It's very
at
irritating.
A point. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's adequate support for women in business in Kenya, in East Africa, or is there no support? There's more need to be done. What are your thoughts?
There's definitely not enough support.
For
women in business. There's not enough funding for women in business. There's not enough. If we're looking at the decision makers, people who sit in boardrooms, the people at the top, there's not enough women. And as a result, it then continues to be a challenge for women to get through the door. So, as a small business owner, I'll say there's not enough support or funding for small business owners, right? If you want to get a loan, if you want to, get investors, the fact that you're a small business already is a challenge. Put on top of that the fact that you're a woman, it becomes even a bigger challenge. The spaces that have been created, the opportunities are geared towards the patriarchy, they're for men. And because the people who make the decisions, the people who are sitting at the top are also majority men, it becomes like a continuous cycle. So no, and this is definitely something that I personally, would love to be part of bringing a change to. I don't even know how, but I know a lot of fantastic, amazing successful, business women, small business owners, but then aren't able to grow beyond that because of the challenges that face the fact that people are looking at you and seeing you as a risk.
Yeah.
Someone doesn't want to invest because, it's a woman-led business, so there's risks to that.
And what are these risks when they say risks?
I mean, I would imagine, the fact that, as women, we birth life.
Yeah.
And, that the toll that would take on you as well, the time. So instead of looking at it as, okay, this is a person who can do that, but then it's also balancing everyday life, also starting a business, people look at it from a negative perspective.
Yeah.
So I think that it's more mind frame.
It is. Because if you look at the facts, a woman who is bearing life but still running a business and doing these things is doing way more than so why we look at it negatively.
Yeah. Which is what I'm saying. It's a mind frame. Because if you look at what the woman is doing versus what the man is doing, right? We're doing the same thing in this context of whether it's an office or a business, but then outside of that, there's so much more responsibility of a woman, and you're managing to balance that. So for me, when I think about it, I'm like, I mean, practically, if you think about it, this is the person who is more, who I would bank on more, right? Because they've shown the ability to balance so many other things and still perform.
Exactly.
But there's a mindset that because you have to balance these other things, you are going to be unable to focus or perform. And it's strictly a mindset, and it's ludicrous, in all honesty. Yeah.
Previously, you mentioned that you didn't have other entrepreneurs around you as you were starting off. And if you did, it could have helped, save money and take less risks than that you did in the beginning. Is this something you purpose to do, like to create communities of practice where you can uplift and teach other women? It doesn't have to be women entrepreneurs, but other entrepreneurs. Do you think that's something needed, or should entrepreneurs just learn as they go, fail, and...
I definitely think it's something needed. And you corrected yourself and said not only women, but for me specifically, I would love it to be for women. Okay. Because I feel like a lot of male entrepreneurs already have that. There's already these, the boys clubs, and they already have support. Just the fact that he says, I want to start a business, there's a lot of support rallying around him. Yeah. And women don't have that. So it's definitely something I would love to be a part of if it already exists, or to start something specifically for women, women entrepreneurs, because I've started to kind of, as I'm an entrepreneur, I meet more and more entrepreneurs who are doing amazing, fantastic things, and I'm like, wow, how come we haven't heard about this? How come I don't know? And then the fact that I don't know means that then other people don't, and so then how are we sharing this? How are we sharing this information, and how are we sharing these lessons and the guidance and supporting each other? Yeah.
I love that. I definitely think that would be definitely needed. More support systems and structures put in place to support women in business, because we can't deny the environment we live in, the country we live in, Africa, very patriarchal, like the patriarchy is there, and there's very many barriers for barriers that are keeping women out of starting business already. So that needs to change.
Yeah, the time is now.
Yeah, the time is now. Definitely. And so for an entrepreneur, it could be a woman, it could be a man, a young entrepreneur who is struggling right now. They've started, but they feel like they want to give up. Things are tough. They just want to give up and go back to whatever they were doing before. Like, what advice would you give them for that struggling entrepreneur who's in that space?
I would definitely say to stay the course, because if it's something that you've envisioned and you believe strongly in, I always say, challenges are inevitable, but it pays off in the long run. And I think the resilience that you build when you're facing these challenges, if you're feeling like, okay, I want to give up, I can't do this, and you stay a little bit longer and then you actually can, that then gives you the push to go even further to the next challenge, right? Because it's not that the challenge will stop, but you will grow and learn how to maneuver, and also to learn that challenges they're not the be all and end all, right? It doesn't mean, okay, I've faced a challenge and now it's time to give up. I think approaching the challenge as, okay, how can I maneuver and come around this? So I would say, I definitely would say, yeah, stay the course and believe in, you know, what it is that put you on this journey in the first place. Yeah.
Okay. Great conversations here with Nanzia. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I've learned so much myself as well, and great insights as well. So thank you so much. And everyone who's watching, make sure you check out Roro's. All the links to the Instagram page as well as the store locations will be down in the description box. Thank you for watching. Until next time, my name is Althea Murimi. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.